Hi, welcome back to my digital artifact beta, the second of two major updates before its final implementation. First off, let's recap what my digital artifact was supposed to be. It was supposed to be a regularly posted creative effort, weekly captures in what was to be an episodic short story. It also was supposed to feature input and direction from the community. It also, at some point, was going to be fully controlled by the feedback loop that I was going to generate. Now let's see how it's changed. Evolution is the word I have used, but it isn't the most accurate description. The original problem I faced was content creation and editing for public consumption. I have posts, but they are not what I envision them to be, and they sit in my draft folder as such, just kind of taking up space, not really post worthy. So what's the deal? What is my DA at this point? I have several folders of starter chapters sitting away on my main computer, of which my new plan is to patch together and generate a short story to be posted alongside an audiobook version of on the due date of the digital artifact. How did we get here though? How did my idea collapse on itself so rapidly? I'll show you, but honestly, I'd rather not. This is one of the results of my allows community input part of my assignment. I personally will not read it for you. You can pause and read it if you want. This post was echoed in every single feedback loop I instigated. Turns out, just because you enjoy doing something doesn't necessarily mean you're good at it. My DA suffered, let's call it, a crippling setback when these posts were left, mostly and embarrassingly so due to the effect it had on my morale. I can't stress how many posts gave this general gist of, yo dude, you can't write, so just kind of stop. So anyway, moving on. Where to from here? I'm short storying it up at this point in time. It's almost done, but due to my recent experiences with the community, thanks by the way Reddit, I'm going to be spending all available time editing. So yeah, restart and logging of failures is kind of where I'm at this point in time. Major lessons I'm taking away from this experience overall are the ways I can better use my time to produce higher quality content. Overall, let's say this informative experience over the last couple of weeks has kind of opened my eyes to the effects that time has on a project. If I'm completely honest, I spent the last year working on a digital artifact as well, but I didn't have as much online feedback. It was a lot more personal feedback from the people I was doing my assessment with. Whereas in this case, I've kind of had to give it to the world rather than people who I can, in a way, trust the reaction of. And the world is a much more brutal place. I posted these to r/fantasy writing in their weekly critique session, and I'm seriously trying not to think about that comment because it was one of the harshest, but they basically ripped me to shreds. Which is alright because my intention here wasn't to actually produce like a high quality short story. It was to produce something that I could implement. It was the process of creating something. Last year it was me trying to force my friends to join a media business with me, but now it was, can I by myself work within these confines, produce regular content, post regular content, and have that content be of a certain standard. But that wasn't the case, and that's alright. I'm just recording the whole process, and that's the intention of this assignment. Anyway, that's been my TED Talk. I'll see you guys later.